This is a traditional kind of like a Taoism god on top of a tiger.
We are elementary school teachers down in Nantou County, and we need a music program, but we have no money. How do you make that bass? Because we're gonna show our kids how to do that.
Last time I saw a washtub bass, I was still in elementary school. And my fourth grade teacher, Mr. Marcus, he played the washtub bass.
Wow.
Yeah, so during all the
bass that we met.
yes, it was. So you know, all the school assemblies, he would get his, jug band out, and they would play this. It was, I loved it.
There might be some kids in Nantou County that might be able to play the wash tub, because one time after a show, TC and I were sitting down, and these two guys came up and they said, we are elementary school teachers down in Nantou County, and we need a music program, but we have no money. How do you make that bass? Because we're gonna show our kids how to do that. And so we showed them how to do it. So there may be a young jug band growing down in Nantou somewhere.
Wow. All right, so then you have a chopstick in your hands, and then you just whip it?
Yeah, you just pull it tighter is higher, lower is looser.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
goodness. Why don't you give it a try?
You want me to give it a try? I want to try this.
Okay. Don't break it now.
Oh,
It's expensive. It's like 100 NT.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm going to be careful with it. I'm trying to get, can we get the 7 notes in there?
Oh yeah, that's hot jazz.
It's hard.
No, it's easy.
It's Derek, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with that high tech?
I'll play that next season.
Yeah.
Next episode. Yeah.
But this is harder than playing a fretless bass, right?
It's much harder, I think.
I mean, it's completely based on the tension of the string. That's it.
Exactly.
You got to get the scale. Yeah.
Well, how about you try another one? Actually, the other one Tim was just talking about washboard. Would it be okay if you tried washboard?
Sure.
Is there a trick? I mean,
Tap with one hand and drag with the other.
there you go.
Get on the washboard, joining the job and on the washboard. Dennis on the water, he's a washboard. Gonna be a wrangler someday. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play. Got that washboard gonna play. On the washboard, he's gonna jump in now.
Oh, hey! Oh, I just lost one of my fingers.
And we're going to hunt for parts to make 2 instruments today. A washtub bass for her and washtub bass for us big people. Yeah. So here we go. Let's go. Okay, so here we are at our local hardware store. This is where we go to buy the parts to make our homemade bass, otherwise known as a washtub bass or the bull fiddle. And so we're gonna go and look at what they got. So it should be pretty simple. We need for a washtub bass, you need 3 things basically. A big tub, and something like this. This is more Scarlett size, right? And we also need a stick and some rope. I think that's right. Or anything. Also a stopper, like a stopper for like the thing. Okay, anyway, she's already chosen hers. Now I think we're gonna look for ours. Oh, okay, yeah, these are too soft. They're too bendy.
They're too brittle, actually. They break when you use them. They split.
Right, oh, okay. He's the bass player, so he's actually the expert. Okay, what do we got?
Shorts. But this one might do.
This one seems to be taller than the other ones. I wonder why.
What do you think?
Hey, Scarlett.
Scarlett, what do you think?
Scarlett, come over here.
Might be too short for her. She
It's
just can use that to beat small animals or something. So.
Got
A little tub.
a little tub. This is for Scarlett, so we need to find our big person tub.
And a big stick.
And a big
for
stuff.
us.
Let's stick with it. I don't think they have the space.
I don't think Connor would appreciate having to carry the big ass tab.
So this is, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. We want to. 我们要谢谢老板。不客气。Yeah, 好, and we're gonna go back to Christina's and build the base for us and for Miss Scarlett. Oh yes, there's one more part we forgot to tell you about, which is when you actually play the bass, you need a, well, it's good to have a chopstick.
Yeah, otherwise your finger gets all bruised up. So,
Hey, not bad. Can you guys hear that? It's a tub. Woo!
that's not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
So we got the new tub, and let's go for a spin. Let's take it for a spin. Here we go. So. Well, I got a gal, she's little and low. She used to cry a lot, but she don't no more. Got a bull fiddle and go. Go, go. Well, I can't stay put, got a bull fiddle and go.
Okay, so you guys are here today. Now, I know you guys have a couple of albums you guys recorded and award-winning albums. So you brought them here today. You want to show us, tell us about a little bit about them?
So this one was recorded in 2013,
Okay.
10 years ago. It's the 10th anniversary. It's called the Formosa Medicine Show. And these very colorful. We have this one, and this one was recorded in 2018. Hold That Tiger. This was
That is
also.
really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
the artwork is really, really unique as well. Can we show this one? Look at this.
Sure.
Kind of like a Taoism god on top of a tiger.
With the
in
UFO on the
with a
side.
UFO wearing a spacesuit, right? I mean, did you guys do this? I mean, you have
So
some friends.
this is our good friends. They're designers from Andrew Wong at Yang Fengming. As you can see, they do excellent work. We're lucky to have them as friends. And they have been recognized. This album was not. Both of these were nominated for Grammys for Best Design.
Wow,
So yeah,
amazing.
we're all respect to Andrew and Fengming. Andrew is Hong Konger, lives in Taipei. Yang Fengming is a Taiwanese designer, and we're just so blessed that they were able to help us. They really do beautiful work.
It's really neat. I mean, look at this. You not only just the cover, you look at the inside, the writing, and the design. And check this out. This is the actual CD, right?
Yeah, like a charm, right?
Yeah,
They're
kind of like a charm that you would get from temples. And then you wrapped it up, and then inside, what do you know? There you go. And that's the CD that comes wrapped inside this.
Right, and that's like the spell, the good luck spell.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So congratulations, you guys won Grammys for this.
We were nominated.
Nominated.
This one won a Golden Melody for design. It did win the gold,
Okay.
which is Taiwan,
Yeah,
or the
Taiwan.
Chinese-speaking world's version
Grammy.
of Grammys. So
Yeah, that's
great.
awesome. That's
no,
wonderful.
just to be nominated is really amazing. It's really great.
All right, so it is quite a treat. So, I heard them briefly at an event, and I remember them. So I'm glad you guys made it here. I'm glad the timing worked out. You guys are here. We have a jug band in Taiwan. So I tell you guys, this little island, it's only a population of 23 million, but it's really something special. The people that come here, that that bring some color and bring some taste and bring some sting to it. It's really quite unique. I'm so glad that there is a jug band in Taiwan. But like I said, when we meet up, even briefly for different shows, normally we just meet up backstage. It's hard for us to get together. And today we got Jim, we got TPO here. You guys know each other as well. So, I mean, can we utilize this opportunity? Like, can we do something?
I think maybe Wang Chunfeng would probably be the appropriate song.
Oh, the
Taiwanese song.
Taiwanese folk song that everybody, Wang Chunfeng. All right, that's great. So we got a jug band, we got a jazz band, and we have a saxophone owner. So
Who can play bass and
so
play
yeah. So I will bring my sax. Let's do it. Basin Ramblers. Guys, that was amazing. Thank you so much for watching today's show. I want to remind all of you to follow us on YouTube, and you can check out our website on Taiwan Plus. And thank you for watching the Taipei Tonight Show. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.